Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and in-betweens, this is the Ask Me Anything webinar on 8 legit remote work from home opportunities. Super pumped that you guys are here. There is such a need, such a demand for these work opportunities. I know I've lived it. You're living it right now. And that's why I'm so excited to share this content with you guys today and really provide tactical strategies on what you can do to land one of these remote opportunities. This is a webinar. So we can add people to talk individually. If you drop a comment in the comment section, Rada will then know that you want to speak or come on and ask a specific question. There's going to be plenty of time to ask all those questions. So familiarize yourself with the Zoom interface and drop a comment. It doesn't have to be the whole question. You can just say like me or even any kind of initial, like just any kind of character response to let Rada know that you want to talk. So me, I talk, all good enough comments to you don't have to ask your whole question. And then what else? Just do some housekeeping here. Let me close this down. Let me get a Chrome browser up because I might just be sharing some stuff with you guys. And I want to give a huge, huge shout out to everyone on who shared this event on Facebook. Big love to BDBU, the Babies Down Bottles Up podcast, and Jocelyn sharing there. Eyes Free Sports with Greg Lindbergh. Appreciate you, brother. The Loudon chapter, Dante, Johan, Marissa, Greg Smith, Emma, and then others we can't mention because of their privacy settings. But this was super, super cool to see so much engagement and love and stuff on Facebook. And we've been getting some counselors excited about this too. So we know the demand is here. And let's go ahead and get right into it. This is 8 legit work at home opportunities for blind professionals that pay $25 or more. And this is so important, right? Because remote work is transforming how us as blind professionals build careers with flexible hours, real income, and the ability to work from anywhere. And at ABLE, ABLLE, the Accessible Bridgeway to Learning, Living, and Employment, and Accessibility Officer. Our mission is to ensure that you're not just included but thriving, right? That the U.S. disabled unemployment rate should be the same as the U.S. unemployment rate. And whether you're new to the workforce or ready for a pivot, these accessible opportunities are legit and they're waiting for you, like right now. And so one of the things that I also want to talk about too is like not just make you guys aware of these opportunities, but how to find them for yourself, and then how to bridge the gap between what's needed to actually get the job, what's needed to get the opportunity, what's needed to get paid, like from where you're at right now to getting paid. Like, what do you need to do that if there's a gap in your experience, your skills, or your capacity to earn that money? At the end of the day, employers hire employees or pay contractors for one reason and one reason only, and that is to solve problems. And the better you're able to solve their specific problem, the more they're going to pay you, right? The amount of pain that they're willing to solve with money is your paycheck. That's your hourly rate. That's how much they're going to pay you to do that project. They have that pain and they're willing to pay to solve it. Your capacity for solving that pain is a function of how much they're going to pay you, if that makes sense. So the first one, of course, is we hire apprentices who graduate from our certified accessibility tester program. So, of course, the first one is going to be digital accessibility testing and consulting. We're not the only employer in the world, though. doing this. But blind screen reader users are essential for testing digital products. It's not just, it goes above and beyond your lived experience. That is so critical, right? Because accessibility doesn't mean usability, but it provide your lived experience can help provide insights that automated tools miss, and your technical skill and expertise, your ability to test against the success criteria, meaning it doesn't matter. You're testing for people with mobility impairments, with cognitive impairments, with other sensory impairments. Testing digital accessibility is about making sure that you're making a website accessible for everybody. It's not just people who are blind or visually impaired, right? So it's people who only use a keyboard, people who don't use a mouse, people who don't use a screen reader but use facial recognition or eye gaze technology, like the late great Dr. Stephen Hawking's, right? He would use facial recognition and eye gaze technology to move and manipulate the mouse, but he would use a screen reader to talk. And that's, if you guys remember, right? Everybody knows the Stephen Hawking's voice because it's that Jaws eloquence voice. Christopher Reeve would use what's called a sip and blow or sip and puff. So he had a little straw by his mouth, and he would literally he would switch back and forth. That puff back and forth would actually toggle a switch that allowed him to like essentially tab through a website, right? So the skip to navigation is for people like that as well, right? The skip to navigation links and those buttons are for more than just screen reader users. They're for people of all abilities. And your ability to test against those success criteria means that you're going to make at least $25 an hour at accessibility officer, and often even more as you begin to build your career. Digital accessibility starts at about $50,000 per year. That's about $25 per hour. And there's different ways that you can find opportunities, right? So there's the traditional jobs like what we offer at Accessibility Officer, what you would see at JP Morgan Chase or Wells Fargo, what you would see for government jobs like the Department of Transportation, the Department of Veterans Affairs. In your local and state government, you'll see accessibility jobs, but you can also find them at companies like Fable, companies like Applause, and of course on Upwork. So let's go ahead and do that right now, because I want this to be super, super tactical for you guys. And I'm going to show you how simple this is if I can figure out how to use Zoom and share my screen. Loving that we're up to over 70 participants now. That is freaking amazing. So let me go to Chrome. All right, so here you guys should be able to see my, for those who are sighted, you know what I need to do? I need to turn on the screen reader. So let me do that again. Boom, share sound. Okay, here we go, new Chrome. You guys should be seeing my Chrome. Rada, can you confirm we got JAWS up?
Yes, I can see your Google interface.
But are you hearing JAWS?
Yes, we can hear it.
So on Chrome, and so I'm literally just up here in the address bar. I'm hitting Control L to be in that address bar, and I'm going to type in Indeed. Indeed digital accessibility. That's all I'm searching. That's going to not only bring up Indeed right here as the #1 search, but that's probably going to start to filter those job posts for digital accessibility. And when I'm looking for jobs in digital accessibility, this is going to be true for the other 8 jobs as well, is that people are going to call it different stuff. It might be Section 508 consultant, or 508 compliance expert, or digital accessibility specialist, consultant, expert, tester, etc. Right? So they call it so many different things. But let's go ahead. I'm navigating by heading here. Digital accessibility jobs, employment. I'm going to down arrow confirm that I'm in Indeed. Boom, right there. So I'm going to up back arrow and then hit enter. All right, let's see if my T-Mobile hotspot can handle this. I don't want to sign in. Indeed, really wants you to sign in hard. So accessibility SME, that's subject matter expert. Digital accessibility specialist. So that's a big pay range right there. Digital manual accessibility auditor. Right? That is probably primed and ready for somebody like you. Let's buy WeCo. It's a remote position. $35 an hour. Save job title button not pressed. List of items listed. Follow around both manual accessibility other contractor role will participate in the process of delivering accessibility audits to companies clients as part of a team of. List and level 1. List of items listed level 1. Right. So this is how easy it is to get a job in digital accessibility, at least to locate it. The actual skills gap that you might have is probably certifications. You're going to be wanting to look at technical certifications. So that means your trusted tester. That means your web accessibility specialist. That means your CAT 2.2. These are the types of technical certifications and training that you would need in order to be qualified to get a seat at the table. And then when you're in the interview process, you want to stand out as the one who's better than everybody else. And there's so many different ways you can do that. We provide a training on this called the Getting Hired Playbook that goes over this in significant detail. But here's how I might go about doing this: is I would make sure that I'm on LinkedIn. I would go to WeCo's profile on LinkedIn. I would start to look at other people who work at WeCo, and I would start to send them connection requests, especially if they have jobs in the job that I'm looking for. Right. So something on the accessibility team, something on the digital team, the web team, the applications team, anything with IT, I'm sending connection requests. Hey, Lamar. And 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 then I'd be sending them connection requests. And then once they accept those invites, I'd be sending them messages. Hey, I'm going to be applying for this role. Do you mind if I get 5 minutes of your time? I really think I would be a good fit. I would start creating interviews for myself with other people on the team to actually understand what's important to them. What helps you get the job? What advice can you give me? What kind of technical requirements are there? Are they really inclusive? Are there other people with disabilities on the team? Does anybody use a screen reader? Have you worked with a blind person before? What do you think about a blind person applying for this job? Like, those are things that you can definitely get answers to before you ever step into the interview. The next thing that I would think about doing is I would actually go to the WeCo website and I would start auditing their website and then deliver that on your first interview. Hey, you're going through all the things, you're making sure your personality is a fit, the culture is a fit, all those other, you're asking all the questions, and then boom, you share your screen just like I did. And then you share with them the audit results. Hey, just so you know, on your website, I saw this violation. I saw this violation. This one wasn't picked up by automation. That's probably why I found it as a manual digital accessibility tester. I'm the right fit for this job. Ladies and gentlemen, that's how you get things done. All right, so I'm going to stop sharing my screen here. And I'm going back to my notes here. So you can find, again, work at Fable, work at Applause, and on Upwork as well, right? So if you wanted to start your own digital accessibility side business, getting jobs on Upwork is a great way to do that. As a digital accessibility company, I'm not looking for jobs on Upwork because they're probably not going to pay us enough to make it make sense. But for you as an individual, it makes sense. So definitely do the same kind of search. Digital accessibility tester, Upwork. Do that on Google and see what happens. So let's move on to the next one. Number 2 is remote assistive technology instructor. And just so you guys know, I'm going to be covering a little bit more about what we do at the end of this webinar, answering all of your questions. And please, if you have a question, drop it in the comments so Rada can let me know, and we can pull you off mute and let you guys ask your question live. Slowing jaws down, please. Okay, I will tell you, I will slow jaws down because I'm a nice guy. If you're having a hard time listening to that jaws at that speed, I'm not even that fast. Your workplace readiness probably could use some attention. However, if you're sighted or low vision, this wouldn't be a problem, right? But you got to get your screen reader skills up. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to be a professional who's able to work from home, you've got to be so freaking good at all of the assistive technology skills, the assistive technology tools that you'll need to to prove that you're better than everybody else. It's not just that you're the best person with a disability, you're the best person out of the 400 other candidates who are applying. Rada, how many applicants did we have to our last digital accessibility tester job?
But 300 something. It's three
300,
digits.
300 something. So, right. So we've got a lot to choose from, and only the best are going to get the job. So I will slow down the screen reader though for the next time. So the remote assistive technology instructor, like this is it, y'all. Like you can get paid because you're great at a screen reader. You can teach someone who doesn't have the skills exactly what you do, how to be good on Chrome, in Safari, right? With VoiceOver or JAWS or NVDA, how to use Outlook and email. And you can unlock a world of opportunity for someone who was once in your shoes, right? Assistive technology instruction is such a fulfilling career opportunity. And there's some remote ones as well. I know a lot of these are in person, but there are some remote opportunities as well. Um, Looking through my notes, yeah, the hourly rate we're seeing when we see these jobs is $25 to $50 per hour. $25 to $50 per hour. You can find work looking at Hadley. Look at your VR state agencies, as well as Vision Aware, and of course on Indeed. So I did a search earlier just before this webinar really quickly to prepare, and I'm going to pull up one such job right now. And let me go back to my Zoom, and I'm going to share my screen. Sharing sound. Oh, shoot. Okay. It says it's sharing. So let's see. All right. Let me know if you cannot hear my JAWS.
We can hear it.
Perfect. So, all right.
Primary navigation region. Skip the main content.
So what I did right there, I'm using JAWS 2025. I did a read all. I'm on the laptop layout, so that's caps, down arrow. It reads all. Then I'm hitting page down or page up, respectively, to bring the speed higher or lower. So read all and then page up, page down. That's at least how I do it. And I know there's other ways to do it. I'm not a JAWS expert.
Skip the main content. Assistive technology specialist heading level 1.
All right, so here's an assistive technology specialist job.
Link DaVinci Collaborative left parent opens in a new.
For DaVinci Collaborative.
$50-$60 an hour part.
$50 to $60 per hour part-time. $50 to $60 per hour part-time. Let's say that's 10 hours per week. How would $500 a week change your life? How would $600 a week change your life? This is the opportunity right now.
Apply now button. Save copy link separate.
Let's go look at the job details.
Job details heading level 2. Group start pay. Heading level 3 pay. List of one item $50-$60 an hour.
Love that.
List end. Group end. Group start heading level 3 job type. List of part list group that heading job description. DaVinci Collaborative is a multi-functional educational company that provides services designed to support the academic growth of our clients. The role of assistive technology specialist is to assess our students' support needs and work with a student's team to identify the technological supports and tools that will help to best support students' academic needs. Ongoing consultation and coaching support are provided to students, teachers, staff, and teachers on how to implement and monitor progress utilizing technology.
Boom. So there's more.
Essential duties and responsibilities.
Right.
List of 4 items. Bullet ability to assess technology tools to support students' individual needs. Bullet continuously educating and researching new and innovative technology solutions. Bullet develop and maintain effective relationships with the district representatives, teachers, parents, and students. Bullet independently schedule all required consultation sessions at the beginning.
So do you think you got that? You think you got that? I know. We had over 70 participants last time I checked live right now on this webinar. I know that a good portion of you could probably polish up your screen reader skills, polish up your assistive technology skills, and go after this job, making $50 to $60 per hour part-time. Love it, right? Love it. And then, so what you'd want to do, again, if you wanted to try to really put yourself in a great position to get this job, is start connecting with people that work at that company on LinkedIn, send them connection requests, send them messages, start creating content around assistive technology instruction, what you're doing to help people, what you do to improve your skills, what certifications you got, all of that stuff. That's happening right now.
Title is
All
assistive
right,
tech.
let's come
Screen
back
sharing controls to move an item, press the arrow keys. Screen sharing.
and come back to my notes. So, freelance writing and creation. Y'all, when I was a kid, all right, my mom retired professor emeritus as a writing professor for a college. All right. She's good at literature, writing, and stuff. And my brother would always just like dictate, my younger brother would just kind of dictate to my mom like what he wanted to write about when he had a writing paper due. He'd just say, yeah, I want to talk about this and I want about this. And then she would ask him questions and they would essentially write the paper. And I was too prideful. I would not do that. I wasn't good at school, right? But I didn't want it to be given to me. And so I was so proud as a freshman in high school when I had this first big paper due and I had my rough draft. And if you guys remember, right? Remember when we had to submit rough drafts, right? When they made us like kind of go through that writing process. And I was so proud of this rough draft. And I printed it out and I handed it to my mom and I'm like, take a look at that. And she reads it and she goes, that's pretty good. But next time spell check. Because you got rough draft at the top as RUFF. So rough draft. It was rough. And so, but today, like I don't even know how many hundreds of thousands, probably millions of words that I've written. I'm a published author. I write blog content all the time. We're writing marketing content all the time. We're, most of the stuff that you see on our blogs right now is either Justin or myself, one of our blog writers. We pay people to do this work right now. And the better you are at communicating your ideas, someone else's ideas, or technical concepts in a way that other people can understand, that's a valuable skill that people will pay for. From accessibility blogs to ghostwriting, your voice and structure matters. And if you can write clearly, if you can write effectively, if you can do that on a regular basis, this is scalable. You can do this part-time, full-time, but more importantly, from home. You're going to get $100 to $500 per article, which is about $25 to $50 per hour, depending on how fast you write and you do your research and everything. But when we do a blog post, or when Justin does a blog post, he does a ton of research. He writes a really compelling article. He sends it to myself and Rada for review. We optimize it for search engine optimization, and then that thing gets published. And we pay Justin for this. And you can too. So how do you find opportunities like this? You can find them on Upwork, ProBlogger, Clear Voice is another platform. And all you got to do, like for Upwork, again, y'all, it seems like so easy to me. If I wanted to just like, hey, try this out. I think I'm a good writer. I've published I've published some books. I've published some blogs. I write and journal and do my own short stories. Like, this is an opportunity for you. All you have to do is in Google, type writer Upwork and things will pop up. Let me pull up this link right now, which is of Upwork and the jobs that are open right now on Upwork as a writer. So while that's popping up, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen again. Uh, all right. And I'll slow it down a little bit for you guys. Let's see.
Freelance writing, freelance jobs, work remote and earn online. Link skipped, visited link up Upwork.
Okay, so now I'm going to navigate by heading.
Find the best freelance writing jobs, heading level 1. It takes just one job. Professionals, check out a sample of website developer and content writer and dash financial literacy business. Heading level 2 link.
All right. So you have financial background, you know about, personal finance, and you have financial literacy. That's going to be a great job for you to look into.
SOP development for short-term rental marketing. Heading level 2.
Does anybody know what SOP stands for?
Heading level 2 link. SOP development.
SOP development, SOP development, that's standard operating procedures.
Needs to hire 15 freelancers. Writers left pair in Spanish, German, French, Dutch. Heading level 2 link.
Well, you know Dutch, you know French, you know Spanish. They need you to write that.
SEO for keywords. Heading level 2 link.
You're good at search engine optimization and writing keywords and incorporating those into blog posts like how we do at Accessibility Officer. This is a job for you.
Engineering products related blogs, collection pages, and etc.
Right. So there's ton of writing opportunities. If the best way to learn how to get better at writing is to write. And then the next best thing is to read other great writers and mimic their writing style. Rada, do you want to share briefly the one writing course that we got and that you went through that kind of took that model?
Yes, that's a copy that writing course. It's very helpful.
Copy that. And you guys, if you're using ChatGPT to write your blog post, like I know, and everybody else who uses ChatGPT on a regular basis knows, the same format, the same vertical tabs, the same special characters, the same stars, the same number signs, the same, all of that stuff. And even when you remove the special characters, the format is so predictable, right? So, and if you're going for a writing job like this, remote, use ChatGPT to come up with ideas, but you better write that stuff yourself, right? Like if you're going to use ChatGPT,
From Raina Crosville to everyone, can I give a pointer?
If you're using ChatGPT, it's going to be significantly noticeable by writing professionals who know about this stuff that, hey, this person's just using AI. This isn't really that well edited. And you definitely don't want AI to write a hallucination and you to submit that as your work. So I see this all the time on social media. I see this in blog posts now too. And so the goods can tell, the greats will never talk to you. Meaning don't do it. All right, and let's see. Let me come back to my notes. So customer support and outreach is the next one. So if the CRM is accessible, like you can do this. You can respond to support tickets, you can answer phone calls, you can do outbound phone calls. And most of these roles today are fully remote. There's a lot of customer service agencies moving to fully remote work because it's a cheaper cost to them. They don't have to do all this like insurance stuff and buildings and internet and blah blah blah, all the electricity, AC, all of these problems that come, and when I say problems, I mean costs. All of these problems that come with having a physical location. We're fully remote at Accessibility Officer. I think, Rada, would we say on the team that we just had our monthly team meeting, and I think we had 17 people on the call, and we are fully remote. So if they're not screen reader friendly, what you need is a JAWS scripter. We provide JAWS scripting at Accessibility Officer, right, to help individuals who get the job actually keep the job because they didn't know the workplace applications were inaccessible, right? So if you're having workplace application accessibility problems, that's not your problem. It kind of is, right? Because it could threaten your job, but it's a problem that could be fixed with JAWS scripting. Okay, so if you guys need help with workplace application accessibility, what you need is JAWS scripting. The second thing to that is that use your accessibility knowledge and expertise, if you have some technical knowledge and expertise in accessibility, to guide your employer on how to make the application accessible. It's not, the employer just bought a tool, right? Maybe it's Salesforce, maybe it's Slack, right? Maybe it's Asana, maybe it's Trello, maybe it's Jira, right? Maybe it's PeopleSoft, maybe it's ADT, right? Workplaces just buy these applications. And they don't have control really over the accessibility of them. And so, but your ability to guide your employer and tell your employer the information that that application, the company that built that application needs to make it accessible. Um, That's a great. I'm listening to these comments come in. So sorry, a little distracting. But that's a great way to insulate yourself from risk from losing your job is if you can guide your employer to help the company that owns that software fix it. You know, that's a really good way to like provide value to your employer because they don't have to pay for an audit. And two, it's valuable to the software company and to other people who are like you that are using it, right? Because that's the cool thing about digital accessibility is like when you fix it, it's fixed until someone breaks it. So, yeah, so customer service representatives, many of these roles are remote, and you can find work at remote.co. We work remotely. Of course, Indeed. You might even see something on Upwork, but Indeed's probably a better choice. And again, I took 2 seconds to let's see, to look at a why is that not working for me? Un momento, por favor. All right, let me just copy it. All right. Actually, I'm just going to show you guys in real time what this looks like. This is how easy this is. So I'm going to share my screen. There's a Google Chrome. All right, sharing sound. Hitting enter.
Next control plus L application window sharing options list box. Use arrow keys to select content to share. Share multiple windows continuously hold control.
Seeing Chrome right now, and I'm up in the address bar.
Now see your application. Control L.
So I just hit Control L to get up there. And what are we doing? Customer support. So
CUSTOMER customer SUPPORT support. REMOTE. Remote. INEEEE.
this is what I'm searching for.
Blank.
Oh, why is it not typing?
News currently news activate. Stop share left arrow plus right arrow button. Task switching. Address and search bar.
Okay, here we go.
Control L.
So
CUSTOMER customer UPPORT upward. Upward. S blank space blank. REMOTE remote. INEEE. Google address and search bar customer support remote indeed.
customer support remote Indeed. You could do customer service, you could do sales, you could do anything else like this remote Indeed.
Enter. Customer support remote indeed Google search Google Chrome Scanner. Customer support remote indeed Google search Google Chrome Scanner page. Customer support remote indeed Google search page has 8 regions 21 headings and 56 links. Customer support.
Okay.
Virtual PC accessibility with filters and topics results for Gilbert. Oz search results heading level 1. Remote customer service jobs and Gilbert. Oz heading level 3 link. Flexible remote customer service jobs heading level 3 link.
This is probably it.
Link indeed.
Indeed.
Heading level 3 link flexible remote customer service jobs.
So I just down arrow. So I navigated to this via heading.
Heading level 3 link flexible remote customer service jobs.
And then I down arrow to confirm it's Indeed.
Link indeed.
Right. And then I up back arrowed
heading level 3 link flexible.
And hit enter.
Enter. Customer support remote indeed Google search. Heading level 3 link flexible remote customer service jobs. Flexible remote customer service jobs and apply the day.
And I'm gonna slow this JAWS down for you guys.
Continuous area. Page down. Escape. New. Escape. Flexible remote customer service. Flexible remote customer service jobs and flexible. Remote customer service jobs heading level 1. Full details of customer service representative dash State Farm agent team member heading level 2 toggle button press.
My two of my friends work at State Farm. That's a company based here that's headquartered here locally in the Phoenix area.
Response within Mike Lewis dash State heading level 2 $15 $25.
Boom.
An hour. List of 2 opportunities for advancement. Flexible schedule. List and nesting easily apply.
So there's
Full
that one.
Details of healthcare customer service representative dash remote in California heading level 2 button.
So remote in California, that's saying it's remote anywhere in California. So if you're in California, that's a good job for you, but that's how to distinguish whether or not this job is right for you. It'll say the region if it's remote restricted, right? It's remotely restricted inside California.
From $17.65 heading level 2.
So that one's from almost $20 an hour.
Full details of customer service representative dash employee assistance program left parent Monday and dash Friday left.
All right.
CVS Health Remote in Hartford, CT 06103. An hour list of 8 items nesting level 1, heading level 2 $17.00 $30. Full details of customer service rep left parent remote jack head an hour. List of an heading level 2 $20.84 $25.10. Full details of customer service rep left parent remote right parent heading level 2 button.
right? So these are all low-hanging fruit for you guys. Customer support, remote job, $25 an hour. That's how you would search it. Let's see.
From a GMISO to everyone, are these jobs flexible for people who are college students?
Perhaps. I mean, I'm not the employer, right? That was something that you would want to. The question was, are these jobs flexible for college students? And perhaps what I would recommend is that you would want to make sure that you're doing well in college before you're doing well in your job. Otherwise, it's yeah, your college degree will help you get more jobs for sure. All right, let's see. Let me come back to our notes. How far down are we? Let's see. Number 5, voice work or podcasting. Oh my goodness gracious. I know there's probably some pretty good podcasters out there, right? You guys probably have some good shows. You guys maybe have a voice for radio, maybe a face for radio. And that's all fine and good, right? Like this is something that you can do on Upwork, you can do this on Freelancer, you can do this on Fiverr. People need this support. If you're a podcast engineer, you know how to sound engineer and put things together and make it like do all the edits and do all the cuts. Like I know there's a lot of podcasting softwares and editing softwares that are totally accessible to screen reader users, right? Danny on the Babies Down Bottles Up podcast, Greg on the Eyes Free Sports podcast, they do an incredible job at editing. And there are a ton of entrepreneurs, a ton of businesses who don't know how to do that stuff. I don't know how to do that. And so I had created the Disability Hiring Playbook was a podcast that I created, and I hired a studio locally to help me record it and edit it and put it all together and stuff. You guys know how much that cost me? Thousands of dollars, thousands of dollars, and it was only like 5 episodes. This is a high-paying job that's in high demand. How many podcasts launch all the time? Businesses are being sold on marketing opportunities, and this is one of the ways that you can capitalize on how businesses are marketing their company if you can do the job well. So whether it's your voice or it's your editing or it's your sound engineering, podcasting is a great way to get started making $25 an hour or more, probably a lot more, from home. So you can yeah, voices.com, ACX, Upwork, Freelancer, Fiverr, are all great ones to do this. You can also find opportunities in Facebook groups. There's a ton of podcasting Facebook groups, and you could definitely snatch up some business there. I don't recommend doing that. You're going to see greater outcomes looking on these platforms where someone's actually looking to hire someone rather than you just like sourcing some business development. So let's look at what's on. Do you guys think there's something on Upwork available right now? Let's see if there's something on Upwork. All right. We still got 67 participants live with us right now. So I'm guessing that means you guys are liking the content. This is engaging for you. And Rada, do we have anybody asking for questions right now?
Right now, the questions that we can see is from Dasha about the notes and the resources that okay, there's another one. Yeah, check out Reddit. But no question yet.
Okay, great. So let's see. So let's go to see what Upwork has to do with podcasting. So I literally just this is the URL that I got after I searched for Upwork podcasting jobs. Find the best podcasting jobs. It takes just one job to develop as a professional on Upwork. Great clients rated for. Check out the sample of the 357 podcast producer and growth strategist left there. Check out the sample of the 357 podcasting jobs posted on Upwork heading level 4. Did you guys read that? Let me slow that down for you. On average from 2M plus reviews. On average from 2M plus reviews. Trusted by. Heading level 4. Check out a sample of the 357 podcasting jobs posted on Upwork. Breadcrumb. Check out an example of the 357 podcasting jobs on Upwork right now. Podcast producer and growth strategist left parent, not just an editor, right parent, heading level 2 link. Producer and growth strategist. Podcast manager needed for editing and distribution, heading level 2 link. Manager needed for editing and distribution, meaning, hey, can you edit my podcast then can you take little clips of it and post it on social media? That's what this job is.
Audio podcast editing and marketing clips creation heading level 2 link.
The same thing right here.
Podcast consultant for interview style podcast heading level 2 link.
Right.
Audio podcast manager needed for.
Let's come back and see what
hourly,
they're
posted
see what they're
17 days
paying.
ago from Noah Amari to everyone. Does a CISObility officer have a podcast? Less than 30 HRS/week. Hours needed. Intermediate. Experience level. We are seeking a skilled podcast manager to handle the editing of our podcast episodes, add engaging intro and outro music and describe. Podcasting Audacity podcast production audio post-production audio editing podcast. Link see more. Heading level 2 link audio pod.
So that's
From my to everyone.
That's a great example of just some, and then again 357. I could scroll through them all, but you guys, all you need to do is pull up a Google Chrome
from
tab, type in Upwork podcasting jobs, and the first or second result will be a page just like this. So, set up your profile on Upwork, set up your profile on LinkedIn, start making connections, start putting yourself out there, start finding these opportunities.
Screen sharing controls to move to press the
All right, let me turn that off.
Tanner, we got 2 questions.
Okay.
From Noah, does accessibility officer have a podcast?
Well, we're working on it, right? I am stretched so thin, right? Like I want to have my podcast going, and yeah, and so there's a lot of work involved with it, right? That's why you should definitely look into, if you have skills there, you should definitely look into those jobs. But yeah, we will have a podcast out soon. We were supposed to have it out for the NFB convention. We were going to do some live episodes there, some interviews and stuff, but we just couldn't get it off the ground. So, which is my problem. I'm the bottleneck. It's just because I do so much for accessibility officer, like these AMAs, but really most of my job functions are around sales, business development, communicating with vocational rehabilitation counselors, communicating with vocational rehabilitation clients, and yeah, so doing more business operations, trying to grow a team from 1 to 17. So the next one is tutoring and academic coaching. This is something that I'm decent at. And I actually was a tutor at Pima Community College for math. And they didn't pay me $25 an hour. But when I was a student, right, coming back to the question about having flexibility for college students, being a tutor for math, writing, and other subjects is a tremendous opportunity. And just because I'm tutoring in college doesn't mean I'm like some type of mathematics professor. I mean, nothing is further from the truth, right? Like I never got past, whatever the standard college courses are. I didn't specialize in mathematics. So, and then also too, especially at the community college level, there's remedial college classes, right? So classes that are like less than what you would see in a high school. It would just be, or than some of the classes you see in high school. It would just be like intro to algebra, general mathematics, right? And so there's a lot of tutoring opportunities for you. So if you're confident in subjects like writing, math, tech, tutoring is a tremendous way to earn some money while doing so remotely. You can make $25 to $60 per hour is what the range that we've seen for these opportunities. You can look on Wizit, or excuse me, it's, yeah, Wyzant, Y-Z-A-N-T, excuse me, Y-Z-A-N-T, Wyzant, Varsity Tutors, and of course Upwork. So So I did my same old thing on Upwork to find these jobs. Let me go ahead and all right. Let me know if you don't. Screen reader. Ronnie, you can hear my screen reader?
Yes.
Okay. And now I'm pasting in online tutoring and freelance jobs on Upwork. Let me slow it down for you.
Online tutoring freelance jobs. Online tutoring freelance jobs. Online tutoring. Find the best online. Heading level 1. Heading level 1. Find the best online. It takes just professionals on Upwork. Check out a sample of the 137 online tutoring jobs posted on Upwork. Heading level.
Love that.
Experienced CapCut tutor needed. Heading level.
CapCut, that's a video editing software.
Online Japanese tutor. Heading level.
Who knows the Japanese?
Roblox nightclub project. Heading level 2. Spanish tutor for student going to Spain. Heading level 2.
Spanish tutor for student going to Spain, y'all. Does that sound like somebody who can speak Spanish can help you?
Heading
come
level
on.
2 links. Economics paper. Heading level 2 link. CISSP exam preparation coach needed. Heading level. Online Japanese tutor. Heading level. Math tutor assistance left parent. 11th grade school math right parent. Heading
11th grade math school teacher.
Coding instructor for kids and dash students and recent grads. Welcome left parent and dash. Heading level. Online Japanese tutor. Heading.
Man, Japanese is in high demand, huh?
How to become a freelance tutor. Heading level. What does a freelance? What skills do I? What are the?
So, and then look what Indeed does right here, or Upwork does.
How to become a freelance tutor. Heading level 2.
Right? There's information.
Tutoring is the practice of helping
on how to do this.
What does a freelance tutor do? What skills do I need to become a
This is something important. What skills?
While clients may require different skills from different tutors depending on the subject being taught and the students requiring help, there is a list of skills most freelance tutors list of 7 items. Bullet technical knowledge, bullet positivity, it's bullet empathy, note bullet patience, bullet communication, bullet adaptability, bullet confidentiality, pair list end.
I think that you guys could manage that, right? Those kinds of skills. All right, coming back.
Tap switching, screen sharing and controls to move the mic.
So number 7, this one's a little bit more entrepreneurial. Okay, so this one isn't as easy button as the previous 6, right? But you guys, and I've done this in the past. I buy programs like this, but you can sell what you've created, whether that's ebooks, tech guides, screen reader help articles, or resume templates, or even your own products, the things that you've built. Like the eye patch that I'm wearing, I bought that off Etsy. This eye patch, I'm wearing one eye patch. I don't have my left eye, and I bought this off of Etsy. Was it a blind entrepreneur? I don't know. Yeah, I mean, Upwork is definitely accessible. You just saw me navigating it. So Gumroad is a platform that you can sell your digital services on. Etsy, of course, is the marketplace where you can sell your physical products. Of course, there's eBay. I've sold stuff on eBay in the past. Way back before I got into digital accessibility, I used to have a podcast, and it's called The Creative Success Show. And before I came to the Creative Success Show, I launched the Athlete Summit. And if you guys know about my background, you know that sports is really important to me. I was very grateful and fortunate to compete at the Paralympic Games in track and field, in long jump and the 100-meter relay. I was on the national team for a few years, and I've been all over the world competing with the flag on my chest, which I'm insanely blessed to do. But I am so passionate about like physical sports performance and like how do I become the best, because I'm not genetically the best, like not anything close, but no one's going to outwork me, and I'm also going to leverage my knowledge in the best way possible to make sure that my effort goes even further. So I had the idea of like, hey, before I try to go to Rio in 2016, I should launch the Athlete Summit and create a reason for all the coaches that I've been following, all the people that I want to have a conversation with. I should create a reason for them to share all their secrets with me. And I can use those secrets to help elevate my performance and make the 2016 games. That was the strategy. And I executed it through something called the Athlete Summit. And I literally interviewed all of these like really famous coaches who were way smarter than me and helped me elevate my performance. Some notable ones are like Cal Dietz, Dr. Squat, Fred Hatfield, the late Fred Hatfield, Joel Jameson, Mike Roberts, Joel Smith, Carlo Botticelli, and I had FaceTime with all these guys, and they taught me everything that I needed to know. So you guys, and that was me just selling, and then I sold that. I sold those conversations online in the Athlete Summit, and I was so just hooked on conversations and interviewing people. I was like, I'm going to launch my podcast, but I didn't want it to be all about sports. So that was the genesis of the Creative Success Show. How do we create success creatively? The next one that I wanted to share with you guys is the last one in the list, and you guys might resonate with this, but it's remote sales or fundraising, right? That's awesome. Someone was just sharing in the comments that they have an Etsy shop. They gotten some money out of it and maybe motivated to put a little bit more work into it. I hope that you do that. Also, too, some of our other AMA webinars are about business and entrepreneurship and how to do that. So be on the lookout for those. Everybody that's on this list will get an email about those opportunities as well. And those are insanely valuable for anybody to just, basically mastermind with me on how to help you build your business. So remote sales or fundraising. You can, in this role, like in sales and fundraising roles, you literally make outreach phone calls, emails, you build relationships, and you fundraise or create sales opportunities for the companies that you really like want to support, right? So whether that's the American Foundation for the Blind or the National Federation for the Blind, or it's your local church, or it's that nonprofit locally that helped you, or it's where it's your local lighthouse, or where you got ILC skills, or it's something else that you're passionate about, like heart health or kidney. You can do fundraising for anything, and there are jobs for this. And guess what? They're remote as well. Thanks, Abby, so much for the compliments. I appreciate it. So you're going to make $25 to $40 an hour on this at a minimum, plus bonuses. And of course, I hit the easy button in terms of finding these opportunities, and I just searched Indeed. And so I am going to pull up that right now. Let me share my screen. All right, should be a new Chrome. All right, so I'm going to go up in the address bar, and I'm going to paste the link that I copied from earlier, and I'll let you read it.
Paste it from clipboard.
So literally, I searched Indeed fundraising jobs, and then this is the page that came up. I think it was like the first or the second search result. And I think Indeed's trying to get me to log in. Okay, let me slow it down for you.
Flexible fundraising. Fundraising full $6,000 full details of campaign fundraising director heading level 2 button. NW left strategies remote heading level 2 $6,000 a month easily apply save job tag.
So $6,000 a month. That's probably a commission-based role, and they're just giving a range for that, but that's fully remote.
Full details of fundraising officer heading level 2 button.
Fundraising officer. If you don't have experience in fundraising, it's probably going to be difficult to get a fundraising officer position unless this is like one of those really small nonprofit startups and you're the only one in fundraising, so you're the fundraising officer. Let's see.
Organized crime and corruption reporting project remote.
Organized
crime and corruption
right? That sounds like if you want to get fundraising to stop organized crime, maybe look into that.
Save job toggle button not pressed.
Pay
information not provided. Organized crime. Pay information not provided.
Pay information not provided. So that to me tells me it's a smaller organization as well.
Full details of grant consultant heading level 2 button.
Grant consultant.
$50 $100 heading level 2.
Love that. $50 to $100 an hour.
Full details of campaign manager fundraising operations heading level 2 button.
Fundraising operations.
Start engine remote pay information not provided. List of 7 items nesting full time.
All right.
Full details of foundation prospect researcher remote heading level 2 button. Often responds within 3 days. Peace Health remote in Vancouver 198683 heading level $2 $64,126 $96,186.
So that is the annual salary range. If you just divide the annual salary by 2, that gives you a rough estimate on the dollars per hour. So that's looking at like 32 to 47, $48 per hour on that job.
$64,100. Full details of manager. Canvas heading level 2 button.
All right. So that's a job that's actually just not about fundraising. So, but that's how quickly and easily you can do it. Again, I'm gonna show you guys how I did this.
Control L selected. F2 edit 8. Selection deleted. Address and search bar edit.
Right. So I'm in the Chrome browser. There's nothing in the address bar.
Address and search bar edit.
So this, even though I'm on this website,
title is flexible fundraising jobs and dash apply.
Being in the address bar like this is basically like searching on Google. So I could be like
UPRA Upwork FUNDRAIING fundraising JOBS jobs enter Upwork fundraising jobs dash Google search dash Google Chrome dash Tanner Upwork fundraising jobs virtual PC cursor.
Right. And so like knowing that you can use Chrome like that a little bit more quickly than going to google.com, that would be a workplace readiness skill that you should probably want to have, because everything's about time, everything's about speed, everything's about efficiency, everything's about performance. My capacity for paying you as an employer is a function of how much pain I have, and how much pain I have, what I'm willing to pay to solve that. That's your paycheck. That's your job. Right. So how fast can you do something? How well can you do something? Wow. Here we go. I bet you this says Upwork.
Heading level 3 link fundraising freelance enter. Upwork fundraising jobs. Just a moment just a moment page has 2 regions and no links. Just a moment Upwork logo graphic color colon 96 region. There are no headings on this page. Just a moment Google Chrome. Fundraising freelance jobs colon work remote online. Find the best funded page. Just one job professionals on Upwork. Great clients. Check out a sample of 150 fundraising jobs posted on Upwork. Heading level 4.
150 jobs on Upwork right now for fundraising. I'll slow it down for you.
Heading level 4. Check out a sample of heading level 4. Check. CSR and fundraising specialist. Heading level 2. Heading level 2 link. Heading level CSR. Heading level 2 link CSR and fundraising special.
Anybody know what CSR stands for?
Candace Haney raised hand.
Customer, different things, but customer support representative, customer service representative.
Fixed dash price, $100. Fixed dash price, intermediate. Experience left financial modeling for small companies. Heading level to entry dash level part dash time assistant who can edit and market ideally in. Heading level grant writer for women dash owned non dash profit raising serve business fundraising capital specialist. Heading CFO slash angel investor needed. Grant writer needed to develop department for veteran service not booming firm startup transactional and litigation of counsel need project manager slash fundraiser for equity crowdfunding campaign grant strategist left pair your next job start. So that's how quickly you can find other fundraising jobs, just like on Upwork, on Indeed, etc. If I were to do it on Indeed, I would come up here to the address bar. Control L address and blank Indeed from caps lock on fundraising JOBS jobs enter Indeed fundraising jobs dash Google search dash virtual PC cursor results search results heading level 1 fundraising jobs employment base heading level 3 link fundraising jobs employment Phoenix heading level 3 link fundraising jobs employment heading level 3 link.
Oh yeah, and I wanted to go
search edit combo collapse Indeed fund enter search region search edit combo collapse home fundraising REMOTE remote.
Remember to put in remote.
Indeed remote fundraising space fundraising jobs enter Indeed remote fundraising jobs dash Google search Indeed remote fundraising jobs dash Google search page Indeed accessibility link filters and top results for base search results heading level 1 fundraising jobs and remote heading level 3 link. So let me just double check the time here. 2:59 p.m. from Abbey Road to
running out of time. So wow, that went quick.
That's switching Indeed remote fundraising jobs dash screen sharing meeting controls.
All right. Coming back to my notes here. So here's your next steps, guys, gals. If you guys want to take action on this, start. So one is I showed you guys exactly some of like 8 different jobs that you can do right now from home. I showed you guys exactly how to source those jobs, how to start looking for them. I talked about the different skill gaps that you're going to want to address. I talked about how you can build relationships at the companies you want to work for so that you're in a better position to get that job. And I also recommended you being on LinkedIn so that you can create more relationships and put yourself out there in a better, more functional way. Business happens on LinkedIn. That is the social media of business. So I highly recommend you doing that. Now, accessibility officer, we have a few different ways that we support people that are looking for jobs, especially if you're in vocational rehabilitation. So we have what's known as a skills baseline assessment. You need to pass a skills baseline assessment. in order to qualify to come into our certified accessibility tester program or any of our programs. The skills baseline assessment is a great tool for vocational rehabilitation counselors to actually know whether or not a client is job ready and whether or not, and if they have skill gaps, what are those skill gaps and the recommendations needed to overcome them. If you like don't pass the skills baseline assessment, and which would if you pass the skills baseline assessment, that would qualify you for getting hired playbook training. That is that deep dive training that goes over LinkedIn, how to source a job, how to crush an interview, how to actually get employed. That is called the Getting Hired Playbook. And then, of course, the Certified Accessibility Tester Program. That is our 14-week instructor-led certification program that guarantees employment as a digital accessibility tester, earning $25 an hour, fully remote from home. So if you pass, you would qualify for those two training programs. If you don't pass the skills baseline assessment, we have the Workplace Readiness Accelerator Program, which covers all the kinds of skills that you need. Like if you're relying on a screen reader, we're going to develop intermediate screen reader skills on JAWS or NVDA. We're going to help you develop Office 365 skills, so Word, Outlook, Excel. We're going to help you understand how to use Chrome extensions, bookmarks, and really navigate like a professional on that. We're going to teach you how to use workplace applications, project management, ticketing, and how you actually function in a workplace when you've never seen a cloud-based application before, an internal cloud-based. So it simulates, develops the skills that you need and simulates what an onboarding process would look like when you're ready for that job. So that when you get your first job, it's not the first time you're in the end zone. It's not the first time you've seen a project management solution. It's not the first time you had to do an onboarding process. So that is the Workplace Readiness Accelerator Program. Those are the 3 different vocational rehabilitation training programs that we provide to clients across the country. Yeah, I think that that's it. I will stay on for up to another 30 minutes, just answering questions. Rada, if you want to take people off of mute or allow them to come off and answer questions, I would love to take questions live now.
Yeah, a while ago, Candice was raising her hand. You're allowed to talk, Candice.
Hey, Candace. Just for everybody's reference, when you're able to talk, I don't think you'll be on camera. It won't show your video, but you might need to come off of mute because Candace, if you're talking now, we can't hear you.
No, I am so sorry. I dropped my phone.
Oh,
I
that's
raised my
never
hand by
happened to
accident.
me.
I'm
Never
the
happened to
problem.
me.
Sorry.
I mean, don't you hate that when it's like you go to talk and then it's like, what?
Yeah, no, but I dropped my hand when I dropped my phone when I raised my hand. So no questions, but appreciate this.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, no problem.
Abby has some questions on the chat. Abby, would you like to just talk it out?
Yeah, hi there. Can you guys hear me?
Hey, yeah. What's going on, Abby? Where are you calling from?
I am checking in from San Francisco, California. Pleasure to be speaking with you guys today. How are you guys?
Woo. Doing good. Rocking and rolling on a Taco Tuesday.
Oh yeah, awesome. Well, first and foremost, I want to say thank you for, doing this incredible work. It was my first time joining an AMA. I found you guys on Facebook and real quick here, I am in the process of looking for my first time job, part-time or full-time, doesn't really matter. I'm a communications major. I'm going to be 25 later this year, and I have just about had it with not having proper paid work experience. And you provided a lot of really fantastic information today. I'm just wondering, would you say that for most of these jobs, it's more like certification based? Would you say that there may be some times where I might run into, like bachelor's being required or anything like that? That sort of thing, because I don't know, it's hard out here, man. I've been trying for a while.
Yeah, it is hard. And I lost my sight as an adult.
Hmm.
And so I would never had a problem getting a job. And then I became a blind job seeker and I really had a problem getting a job. And
Hmm.
so, and I wasn't good at school. I barely graduated high school. But today I have my MBA. And so I
Wow.
think that degrees can yeah, I mean, intellect isn't determined by some fucking K through 12 teacher, right? You know, you're and as Rada knows, like I get a little passionate and some, you know, some swear words may come out. It's just a function of so much pain and hardship and just realizing how difficult it is for people like you and me.
Mhm.
Um, you know, so I'm also a communications major. I got my undergrad at the U of A, University of Arizona in communications, and then I got my MBA at LSU, Louisiana State University. And degrees will help. I think that in the future they will become less and less helpful. I think that future is yet to be determined. Is that 10 years out, 15 years out, whatever. But some companies will always prefer to have a degree. So even when it's like a certification based thing, like digital accessibility testing,
Mhm.
um, you know, some companies will just like you to have a degree. It's kind of like the check mark, like, hey, this person can stick with something for at least 3 to 4 years and see it through to the end. I think that's probably the most value that as from an employer perspective, because when you're on the job, like, you know, even though I have an MBA, I use almost none of my studies in my business today.
Right.
Um, but that was the thing that I felt like I needed to have to really succeed in my career, right? So I was going to do whatever it took to get there. Um, so the so you're a communications major. Tell me about the types of jobs that you're going for right now.
Right now it's I'm really open to doing any sort of like customer service type of jobs, whether it's remote or in person. That's been like the main thing I've been looking at. I am working with someone through Department of Rehabilitation here in California. She's like a job coach, and what she's doing for me right now is, just helping me look for jobs, getting ready. But she's gone ahead and told me, well, the best thing you're going to have luck with is going to be customer service for communications. You're totally blind. It's going to be really hard to find any other type of job. So I
That
was
is
really,
not true.
yeah, I was really
I love how
excited.
these counselors like to tell. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you. I'm
No,
like
no worries. Go
Tanner. I'm
ahead.
super passionate. My name's Rena. I'm out of Baltimore. I love how these counselors have this narrow view about what a blind person can do, and that's why I don't deal with doors myself.
Mhm.
I've made it on my own for many years. I'm a mover and a grinder. I support a household of 8 by myself, and I have a very disabled child, and I have little tolerance for the BS that these counselors sit out here and spew because it's not true. Don't listen to it, because as Tanner's proven today, you can do whatever you put your mind to. Eyesight be damned, excuse me, but you sound very intelligent, and I feel like you're going to go out here and make a difference. So, you know, I've been in the freelance world for many years, and I've even come to this meeting today, and I've learned some things that I didn't even know that I'm going to be putting into my hat and using. But don't sell yourself short. Go out there and get it. If your counselor isn't going to help you, there is a lot of things that you could do on your own. You have to be brave, but you could do it.
I,
Yeah,
wow.
Sorry, I didn't mean to jump in like
No.
that, but that just kind of made me mad.
I want to thank you for saying that because I think for a little while now I have been feeling a little kind of on the fence about things where like I know I'm capable and I know I can offer something. I just feel like I don't know what that is because the people that are supposed to be supporting me are telling me I'm limited. And so that makes me feel
And
limited.
that's when you don't listen to them anymore, and that's when you get out on your own and you figure out what you can do.
Yeah. And
Because
so
I gave Doors the boot many years ago. I'm a lot older than you. I'm in my 40s.
mhm,
I have children that are your age, but I
so
gave Doors the boot.
I think
I
the
appreciate it. Thank you.
Yep.
tactically how you'll kind of want to approach this is through relationships.
Hmm.
Um, and sometimes you need someone to give you that first shot. And when you got that first shot, like you got to maximize the crap out of it. Okay. But
Okay.
so
Hmm.
people hire people,
Hmm.
and which there's a lot of nuance to that, right? So that means people hire people. So that means that fear hires people. uncertainty hires people, unconscious bias hires people. That means
Yeah, true.
experience hires people. And so how do you overcome fear, unconscious bias, experience, history? And you do it with relationships. The first relationship that you build should not be the one that's on the interview,
Mm-hmm.
because you've already lost.
Yeah.
Because you're fighting the fear, the unconscious bias, and you're fighting risk. Businesses, you know, hire people to solve problems, right? And you being blind is a risk for solving problems. It's a risk.
Because it is because they don't understand. A lot of the times you're going into this with people not knowing what a blind person's capable of. I mean, hell, you have people asking me, "Oh, you've been a parent? You did this?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
So it's kind of the breadcrumbs from earlier in the webinar is like, okay, so from for blind job seekers, we want to think long-term strategic, because we
Mm-hmm.
know the one-offs like us just applying for a job isn't going to work. It's a
Nope.
fool's errand. And so, which means that perhaps the advice that you're getting is not appropriate. And but what will remain true throughout AI or technology or whatever is people hire people. And the way to connect with people is through relationships. And how you develop relationships isn't through a job interview.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll want to establish value and create thought leadership on social media, preferably LinkedIn. You could do it through your own website or blog as well. You could have your own online files that you have, like, you share a Google link or a OneDrive link to the files of the work that you've done. That should be on your profile and readily accessible wherever you go on social media. And then you start connecting with people and you engage in a conversation, comment, share, repost, and
Mm-hmm.
and and start to develop the relationships. Then when you reach out and you make a connection request and you send a direct message, hey, would love to work for your company. This is my background. This is my experience. Can I get 2 minutes of your time? And they're going to give you way more than 2 minutes. And on those 2 minutes, though, in that 2 minute conversation, you tell them, hey, look, I really want to work for your company. Here's why I want to work for your company. And you make it about them. And would you, when a job opening comes up, would you keep me in mind for it? Would you put my name out there? Because I'm going to apply, and you will apply, right? But 50% of jobs are filled before they're ever posted. And
Yeah.
oftentimes companies just post the job because it's a requirement. And so the job's already been filled. And so you've already lost before you ever got started. And that, because that gets down again, I'm reversing it back. It's because people hire people.
Mm-hmm.
Right? People hire people. And so you want to get in touch with people, not job applications.
I see. Yeah. Wow. Well, thank you so much for all of that incredible advice. I'm not sure if there's anybody else here who wants to ask questions. I don't want to take up all the time. But my last thing I want to ask is I know you mentioned those incredible services you offer in partnership with DORs
Yep.
and all this kind of stuff, as well as your podcast. Would that be, after this webinar, would that be the next best way to keep in contact or, kind of stay connected through you guys and, just kind of keep trucking along on this journey?
Yeah. I mean, it might be worth us having a talk with your counselor, and just sharing some different opportunities. I think Raina's, assessment of you is accurate. You're articulate, you're intelligent, you have urgency, you're motivated. Those are all characteristics that employers want to hire for, right? And so again, it's for you, the unlock is going to be people, and how we approach this is going to be a longer term strategy than just, someone sourcing jobs for you.
Right. Okay. Awesome.
Yeah. Raina, did you have a question?
I don't have a question, but I want to say like thank you for this very informational meeting today. I've been in the freelance world for a very long time, and I have even learned some things today that I didn't even know. And I would also like to know, like, are we like gonna have a list of notes? I try to take notes and stuff like that, but I know I'm sure I'm missing stuff, right?
Sure.
So
What we've had a lot of requests from counselors and clients for the notes. So Rada, I think it makes sense that we create a blog post for this. We put all these different things on there. We put some little sub notes on things, and we publish that. So you'll get the recording. We'll send out the recording link, and then we'll create that blog post. And then everybody who's registered today, will send out an email to everybody on, hey, the blog post was published.
And another thing I want to add too, I did drop it in the chat, but Reddit, you can get a lot of good freelance work on there. You have to be quick. You have to be a really outgoing go-getter type. Like you gotta like not be afraid to jump in with both feet, but there are a lot of like subreddits where you can get freelance gigs.
That's awesome. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
I saw a couple other raised hands.
We have Keisha.
Hello.
Keisha, what's going on?
Hi. I want to thank you guys for the AMA as well. I just wanted to give a little, I guess, scenario as to who I am. I agree with the other two ladies that were speaking. I'm also looking for my first time job as well. I
That's
have
awesome.
interviewed several times for like local bakeries and such, and something I know I can do, but yeah, the sighted people are like, wait a minute, you bake? Yeah, of course I do. um, that all to say, I was wondering if at a later point, if you could give me some direction what I could and could not do later, at a later point, like, some direction, because I've never worked before is my point. And
Yeah.
I've got a child that'll be 2, so that
Congratulations.
also, thank you. That also factors into the situation significantly as well, that I can explain at a time when you've got more time.
Yeah. So I think that there's probably at least a couple dozen people that were on the webinar today that might be in the same situation. And here's what my initial feedback would be is think about people and think about doing as much work as you possibly can. So meaning that sometimes, like, you know what, no one's ever asked me in, I think maybe one time. But you know what usually never gets asked in a job interview or during the hiring process?
What?
How much were you making when you were working at this job?
Yeah.
So no one asked what you were making at the previous job. They asked, like, what are your expectations for this job? What's your compensation? What do you think? Is for when they don't list the salary range, that's probably an indicator of a couple different things. Like I'd mentioned, like the size, but it's also a way to like reduce the biggest cost for a business, which is people. The biggest
Right.
cost is salary. And so they don't want to expose how much they're going to pay for the salary, because if you say my expectation is $15 and the range that they were willing to pay was 20 to 25, why would they pay 20 to 25?
Right. True.
Right. And so, and then it's like, oh, we can give her a $3 raise. She's still making $2 less than what the minimum we were going to pay was. And she's excited about that.
Yeah.
Right. So how can you use that to your advantage? Well, I could use that to my advantage by volunteering and just doing work. So like one of the businesses that I want to get into is memory care. I've had traumatic brain injuries and I've had a lot of experiences with cognitive decline as a result.
Right.
And it's very, very scary when you can't remember. And so, you know, but before I just like, start this whole new business venture, based on personal experience, I would want to know as much as I possibly can about the business itself before I
Right.
started that business. So how would I do that? Well, I might volunteer as a secretary for a small health practice, right? Like a one person, like naturopathic doctor. Like
True.
it's just one person. They're the ones that return the phone calls. They're the ones that do the billing. And if you just said like, hey, I would love to help you. I would love to volunteer my time as your secretary, as your front office person. Here's what I can do. Da, 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 da. And then all of a sudden you've created a job for yourself. Now, let's say 6, 12 months in the future, it sucks that you're not getting paid, right? Because you're volunteering to do this.
Right.
But if you think about the long-term strategy of like what that relationship of that person is, that recommendation plus that working experience. Whenever you apply for your next secretary job, that person, that doctor, that whoever, that business person will go above and beyond to say, this person's the fucking best. They
Right.
do this, that, the other thing. They're amazing. They're blind, but that doesn't matter. They get it done.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So once you get that opportunity in front of you, then you got to crush. Right. You got to like do everything that you possibly can in a professional and tactful way. Right.
Correct.
It's not like, hey, how can I help you? It's like, would it be helpful if I answered the phone call for you?
Mm-hmm.
Would it be helpful for you if I sent out an email newsletter to all of your clients? Would it be helpful if I helped you run a promotion that got
Mm-hmm.
more clients in the door? Would it be helpful if I did surveys for all your patients to ask them what services they're looking for or that they would pay for? I've got different ideas to help you grow your business. I'm going to help you grow your business. I'm going to help you operate your business. You take that position of power and leadership, and it will yield so many dividends for you. And if nothing else, it'll teach you that, hey, being a secretary or being whatever is not for me. And
True.
then think about all the time that you saved, all the heartache that you saved by never applying for a job like that because you know it's not for you.
That's
You know,
true.
we have people come through our CAT program, our certified accessibility tester program, and they bust ass, right? And it's clear that they're doing their best. And then at the end, they get offered a job or they're ready to take the final exam and they don't take it because they realize that it's not a job for them. That happens. And I'm grateful for that. It hurts, right? Because I really want to see everybody win and get a job and get paid and do their thing. So it hurts. But at the same time, it's like, well, good for them. Knowing what you want is also knowing what you don't want.
What does it cost to go through these programs that you're discussing?
There's no cost. It's completely covered by vocational rehabilitation.
Oh, well, that's something that I don't have, as I don't remember if I told you.
So we don't support people who are not in vocational rehabilitation in these programs. The
So you'd
ways that
have to open up a case. I see what you're saying. Okay.
yeah, yeah. The ways that we try to support the community is like that don't have cases or things like this. Like I've shared a lot of the fundamental things that are really going to be difference makers in our getting hired playbook,
Mhm.
in our right here. It's tough to go into more workplace readiness accessibility stuff, right? I tried to do that with sharing my screen and demonstrating how I navigate things and how I search things and blah 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 blah.
Right.
But and speaking to that, but the CAT program, the Workplace Readiness Accelerator program, those really take like one-on-one support. But I'm
So if I
happy.
did get a counselor here in Texas, which is where I am, then what would I need to do? Would they need to contact you or would I?
It depends on the state. What we've seen successful in getting the first thing is make sure that your counselor knows your vocational goal.
Oh,
And then, so let's just hypothetically say that's digital accessibility tester. So if
mhm.
that's a digital accessibility tester, then what they're going to have you do depends state to state to state, but it's probably like you're going to have to do some surveys, you're going to have to do some interviews, you're going to have to justify the job availability and demand. That's real easy stuff for us to help with, right?
Oh,
We
okay.
can provide people for you to interview. We can provide you that market data. We can provide you data on the job demands. And then the next step is that you would tell them what you need to tell them, which is, hey, I want to be a digital accessibility tester. For me to be a digital accessibility tester, I need technical training and certifications to get a job. The CAT program does both. It gives me the technical certifications I need, and it gives me the job to get my first job in digital accessibility. And then you would introduce your counselor to us, and we would answer all of their questions and go through that. The next step would be is that if they wanted to support you in that program and authorized it, we would do a skills baseline assessment. We would
Mhm.
see what your technical skill and abilities are and whether or not you're actually capable of succeeding in those rigorous programs, the CAT program, the Getting Hired Playbook. If you're not, then you would be recommended for the Workplace Readiness Accelerator program. That's also instructor led, fully remote, 8 weeks, and it builds all those things that we've been talking about today. It's how do you use a screen reader effectively if you're reliant? How do you get really good at it? How do you navigate Chrome extensions, bookmarks? How do you troubleshoot? How do you problem solve? How do you critically think? How do you do Microsoft 365 across Word, Outlook, Excel? How do you do workplace applications, project management applications? How do you do all of those things? How do you get prepared with the skills needed to succeed in the workplace? Because if it's a secretary job or it's another job like that, I can guarantee you're going to see a workplace application you've never seen before. And so you're going to have to rely on your skills and problem solving and critical thinking to figure out how to get that done. Does that mean? I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I said that makes sense. So the first thing I need to do is get a counselor, obviously, and then get in touch with you guys.
Yep.
Okay. Well, thank you.
You're so welcome. You're so welcome. Let's do a time check here so I'm not late to my next thing. 3, 4. Uh-oh. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3:26. All right. So last question or so. I got about 4 minutes until I got to run.
No hands raised, but I saw like Jose raised his, or Juan Sosa asked.
Hey, Juan. Yeah.
Um,
Yes, hi everyone. Good afternoon. I have a question. When is your next class? I've been trying to coordinate with my counselor for some reason. We can play in phone tags.
Okay.
But I wanted to know, when is your next class gonna start?
For the CAT program?
Yeah.
The week of August 18th is at 1920. August 21st is the first kickoff day. August 21st. That's
Okay.
Thursday, August 21st. Yeah.
I guess I have a little bit of a personal question, but I guess I'll call you, Tanner, and see if you can help me out. To see if we can reach out to my counselor, because I don't know, she's a little slow responding for some reason, but
Okay.
I have a case open.
Yes, sir. Happy to help. Happy to help, Juan.
Yep. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you, Rada, for dropping that in the chat. Rada just dropped a link to fill out a form to get in touch with us, to let us know about your needs, what you're looking to do, and how we can help. But yeah, one last question before we go, or if not, no big deal, no pressure. I'll just close it out with this. I'm so grateful for everybody's attendance here. It really means the world to me. We are 30 minutes over, and I am going to see. We still have 24 participants with us live. That is freaking amazing. I appreciate you guys all so much. If you need help with vocational rehabilitation, reach out to me. We're going to be posting the blog post for the 8 jobs soon. We're going to get some more details in there than the notes that I was using today. We'll get that sent out to everybody here that was on the webinar today. And if you are interested in starting your career in digital accessibility or in any remote career opportunity, we've got the Getting Hired Playbook and the Certified Accessibility Tester program to help you get there. And if you're not quite there with your technical skills yet, we got the Workplace Readiness Accelerator program, which we're super pumped up about as well. So I love you guys all so much. It really means the world to me. I feel your pain. I feel your struggle. That's why we do what we do here at Accessibility Officer. And I can't wait to see you on the other side. Okay. Here we go.